across the stage is going to be like, oh, good afternoon, and welcome to graduation, a celebration of the collective achievements of the Westwood High School class of 2025. Please join the graduates in standing and in reciting with me the Pledge of Allegiance, and remain standing for the national anthem performed by members of the class of 2025. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Performers, please join me in front of the stage.
I start. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
Class of 2025 and guests, you may be seated. Thank you to the members of the Class of 2025 for your preparation and live performance today. Before we begin today's ceremony, I would like to introduce the people joining me on this stage for this year's commencement. Tim Pivovar, Superintendent of Schools, Joanna French, Westwood School Committee member, and Dawson Rose, President of the Class of 2025. I also want to share the names of people who are not joining us on stage this year, but whose leadership and support have guided the Class of 2025 to where they are today. Please join me in recognizing Tom Millette, Assistant Principal, Caitlin Ahern, Assistant Superintendent, Susan Misselli, Director of Student Services, Lemma Jean-Baptiste, Director of Business and Finance, Latifa Frank, Director of Equity, Integration, and Community Partnerships, Steve Ouellette, Director of Technology, Innovation, and Learning, and Chantel Washington, Director of Human Resources. Finally, please join me in sharing our collective, deep appreciation for a few key individuals without whom our Senior Week events could not be possible. First, I would like to thank the various departments of the town of Westwood, and particularly the Westwood Media Center, for their collaboration to ensure that our school's celebration is truly a community celebration. We are lucky to live and work in a community that exhibits such support for its schools and students. I also want to thank the dedicated and passionate members of Westwood Community in Action who created and installed the grad walk lining our fences on campus, one banner for each graduate. At the conclusion of today's ceremony, we invite you to bring your graduate's banner home with you. The all-night graduation party these volunteers have planned for this evening will be amazing, and we are all lucky to work with them to celebrate your class. Please also join me in sharing immense appreciation for Tom Carey, Ron Smith, Eric Bradshaw, Billy Spillane, and our entire facility and grounds staff, who have been working incredibly hard to make sure all senior events run seamlessly. If you see someone in a Westwood polo shirt this afternoon, please thank them for their hard work and flexibility today and every day. Finally, I want to thank Acting Assistant Principal and Graduation Coordinator Ashleen Marcus, Dean of Students Catherine Clifford, and Senior Class Advisors Jonas Schur and Brian Schumann. From your senior boat cruise on Boston Harbor to our senior farewell tour at each Westwood school, these adults have supported your class with creativity and energy as your class advisors. Thank you all. I now invite Dawson Rose, President of the Class of 2025, to address the class.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Dawson Rose. I'm the senior class president, and I am truly honored to speak in front of all of you today. Back in my sophomore year J-term, I had an experience that stuck with me ever since. Alongside 11 of my classmates, I found myself on the most grueling hike of my life. The pack pressed into my shoulders, and with every step, my legs grew heavier. We checked our map only to realize that the peak was 3 miles away, another hour of hiking. We trudged along, but I just couldn't move any further. We stopped, and through the thick forest, light peered through. I took a moment to follow the path, which brought me to a clearing in the brush. Miles of nature and woodland stretched out in front of me. I was thousands of feet high, and it was only then, in the clearing, that I realized how far I'd come. I share this memory because looking back, that hike feels like the perfect metaphor for our journey through school. Long, tiring, filled with moments when we wanted to stop, but also filled with discovery, growth, and perspective. We spent years climbing, studying, stressing, laughing, and learning, and now, for the first time, we can look out and see how much progress we've made. Graduation is one of those days we'll remember forever. It's special not because it marks the end of high school, but because it's the moment we can finally see the meaning in all the steps it took us to get here. I remember way back in elementary school, the time we received our school emails. 25D Rose was my username. 25, I asked? That's your graduation year, my teacher said. The class of 2025. At the time, it felt like an arbitrary number, 10 years away. Too far for my third grade mind to consider. The thought passed by, and I went on to suffer from an IXL assignment. Little did I know, the struggle would continue in the form of DBQs, SAT prep, and eventually AP exams. And along the way, like many of you, I questioned the point of it all. I would hear complaints, most from myself, that what we were learning through these assignments was useless, that we will never use the information in our professional lives. I have read articles and watched videos about how school doesn't teach you how to build the life you want. But over these years, I've asked myself, why would it? The purpose of school is not to accomplish your life goals, but instead to teach you the basic life skills to help you get there. School teaches you to be okay with doing the work you don't want to do, sometimes talking to people you don't want to talk to, all to get a grade that you might not have wanted. Because when you're working towards your goals, whether it's a business, a career, or simply the life you envision, every step is not going to be easy. School taught us discipline, and although I was tempted to use ChatGPT for this speech, I promise you I wrote it myself. So do not disregard school as a waste of time. Instead, see it as a foundation, a set of habits and skills that will launch a person to their goals. Of course, an ordinary system is not going to help you do extraordinary things. That part is up to us. Ambitions cannot be fulfilled by school alone. Dreams aren't achieved by the system, they're built by the people who chase them. And that's what makes this day so special. Although a big milestone, it is far from the end of your achievements. A reminder that there are infinite possibilities waiting for you, a whole mountain waiting to be climbed. I hope every one of you carries a belief that if something is physically possible, it is possible. And that might sound obvious, but let me give you an example of what I mean. On December 8th, 1903, the New York Times published an article stating that, quote, "Man won't fly for 1,000,000 years." 9 days later, on December 17th of 1903, the Wright brothers had their first successful flight. The Wright brothers looked at birds and said, "Flight is physically possible," and they set out to prove it to themselves. So the only limit to your goals should be the limit of physics, not what your friends, your parents, or even the New York Times says. Find what excites you, what really matters to you, and go after it. If it feels out of reach, that's okay. But don't look back and wonder what could have happened if you tried. Because if the Wright brothers could teach themselves to fly in a world that told them it was impossible, then you can defy the odds of any dream you're holding on to. But it would not be fair to end this speech without thanking some of the people closest to me, and of course the many people who have helped us along the way. Thank you to the families of the senior class for showing your support on this special day. It means more than you know to the graduates of our class that you are here. Thank you, teachers, all of which have been so kind, so smart, and I've never turned down an opportunity to help me or any one of my peers. Thank you to the administrators who never stop emailing and planning and making this year easier for all of us. Thank you to my best friends and to my girlfriend who all inspire me to be a better person every day. And of course, thank you to my mom and dad. Mom, thank you for putting up with countless late nights of me procrastinating my homework and being the most supportive and aggressively defensive person in my life. You've never shied away from my struggles or worries, and I will always have someone to lean on because of you. Dad, thank you for always cheering me on and being the one I go to for life's big decisions. You're one of my best friends, and you have taught me so many lessons that I will keep with me forever. Finally, I want to thank the class of 2025. From middle school field trips to senior prom, the memories I've made with so many of you will truly last me a lifetime. So class, this is it. Years of studying, smiles, and tears. Maybe it felt worth it at times, maybe it didn't, but you can be sure that these years shaped us, and they are now coming to an end. I know that we are all excited for the future and for what all of us have accomplished, but I implore you to not think of this day as reaching the peak of the mountain, as a journey complete. High school is over, and we've completed a great thing, but we have only reached base camp. We have an entire life full of obstacles and rocks to overcome, winding paths and forks in the trail, a whole mountain to explore and conquer. But no matter how high your mountain is, how steep, how jagged, remember, during the hike of life we are about to embark on, to take a moment in the clearing and look back on how far you've come. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawson. That was awesome. Good afternoon to the families, faculty, and most importantly, to the class of 2025. Congratulations. We are so proud of you. As I reflected on what defines the class of 2025, I remembered one random, chilly February afternoon in the weight room at the high school a little over a year ago. As my own sneaker-clad feet flew effortlessly above the treadmill, Actually, I was walking and binging season 2 of Outer Banks. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Kevin Klama leading 5 ninth graders through a series of exercises. The training session culminated in a 2-minute plank challenge. Kevin and the other underclassmen circled up, their sweat-beaded foreheads facing one another. Though some torsos wavered and limbs shook, Kevin offered words of calm but firm encouragement, and every student successfully completed the challenge. While this afternoon workout would not provide Kevin the strength enough to defeat Mr. Looney in the spring pep rally push-up competition this year, I could see on the shining faces of the ninth graders that they felt powerful and proud at the conclusion of the session. I was proud for a different reason. I could see that the time and encouragement Kevin had invested in these students had also built up his skills, not just as an athlete, but as a steady and supportive leader. Author Dan Martell describes this phenomenon in advice he once shared with his own children. Everything you want, he said, sits on the other side of helping other people get it. At first glance, this may seem straightforward, but the idea is quietly transformative. If you want to become a better actor, help someone else rehearse their lines. If you want to sprint faster, help a teammate prepare for their next race. If you want to go far, help someone else get there too. What makes this idea so powerful and a little radical is that it runs counter to what we're often taught. We're told that success lies in being better, faster, stronger, smarter. And helping others sometimes requires slowing down when we've never felt more pressure to speed up. It means sharing credit, even when we've worked hard ourselves. It means showing up for others, even when our own to-do lists feel insurmountable. It means having faith that we will get what we give. Throughout your time at Westwood High School, you have lived this principle. Your achievements in academics, athletics, technology, and the arts have been legendary. You've been field hockey, lacrosse, and cross-country state champions and national unified champions. You've excelled in robotics, academic decathlon, quiz bowl, and Model UN on local and national stages. You are all scholastic athletes, Golden Key artists, all-state festival musicians, Salem Film Festival winners. Yet behind each of these accolades and personal breakthroughs are teammates who stayed late with you after practice, classmates who explained the homework one more time, educators who saw your potential long before you did, class leaders who advocated for these opportunities, and the friends and family who stepped up to cheer you on. We don't hoard our successes at Westwood High School. We share them. Someone else's win is a win for all of us. You've lived that spirit every time you pitched in without being asked, helped a peer find their voice, or celebrated someone else's moment, even while you were still waiting on your own. This is not only the reason you've thrived here, it is the reason you will thrive beyond here. The world you're stepping into needs thoughtful, committed, community-minded leaders, people who ask, how can I help, and then show up. Class of 2025, thank you for showing us what it means to rise to the occasion. And as you enjoy the successes of your next chapter, be the reason someone else succeeds too. We cannot wait to see how you will shape the world ahead. Thank you. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce senior singers as they perform I'll Always Remember You by Miley Cyrus, accompanied by seniors Jacob Trider on guitar, Nate Feinfeld on bass, and Grace Barnett on cello. Performers, please stand at this time.
day would come, we'd be standing one by one with the future in our hands. So many dreams, so many plans. I always knew after all these years there'd be laughter, there'd be tears, but never thought I'd walk away with so much joy but so much pain. And it's so hard to say goodbye. With yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moments, so glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you. Another chapter in the book. Can't go back, but you can look. And there we are on every page. Memories I'll always save. Up ahead on the open doors, who knows what we're heading towards. I wish you love, I wish you luck. For you the world just opens up, and it's so hard to say goodbye. But yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moments, so glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you.
Every day that we had, all the good, all the bad, I'll keep them here inside.
All the times that we shared, every place, everywhere, you touched my life.
Yeah, one day we'll look back and we'll smile and we'll laugh, but right now we'll just cry.
'Cause it's so hard to say goodbye. Yesterday's gone, we've gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moments, so glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember. Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na, always remember. Na 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 na, na 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 na, I'll always remember you.
Please join me in one round more of applause for our senior singers and musicians. I would also like to thank Chorus Director Rob Goldman, Performing Arts Director Heather Cody, and Drama Teacher Jim Howard for their unending support of our performing arts students in all their endeavors. I now invite Isaac Chan to the stage to deliver the honor address to the class of 2025.
Good afternoon, Westwood administrators, faculty, and staff.
esteemed guests, and of course, my fellow members of the graduating class of 2025. A few weeks ago, I was on the Westwood High School guidance website looking for a Google form. As I clicked around, I stumbled across Mr. Mao's photo archive. For those who don't know, Mr. Mao has been a math teacher here at Westwood High School for many years. And since 2000, he's taken photos of student events and life here. I just realized he's over there, so hey, Mr. Mao. And in his gallery, you can find anything from sports to international trips to all-night grad parties. I even came across some pictures of old teachers who went here. Right, Mr. Looney? You know what I'm talking about. And as I scrolled, these galleries revealed themselves as time capsules of each graduating class from the past 25 years. I realized that every grade, every class had a unique identity. Personal friendships and connections, distinct faces and expressions, and shared moments that made their high school experience truly theirs. So naturally, I wondered, what about us? What makes the class of 2025 special? How do we want to be remembered, and what mark do we hope to make on the world? In search of an answer, I took myself back through the last 4 years, thinking about every hallway conversation with peers and midnight chat with friends, every club meeting after school and football game at the den. My reflection yielded a list of 3 key insights, inspired directly by our high school journey, that demonstrate the spirit of our class and of the larger Westwood community. It's not exhaustive, but valuable nonetheless. So here we go. The first is that judgment, surprisingly, is the exception, not the rule. We're often convinced that the spotlight's always on us, and that anything short of perfection will become everyone else's laughingstock. I certainly was. I was too scared to run for freshman class president, too worried to participate in pep rally activities, and overcautious about what ideas I shared in class. My classmates would agree. They were similarly scared to go to their first board meeting or even to approach someone they liked. But over time, we realized that the mocking and laughing we nervously anticipated never actually came. What did show up, though, were cheers and claps and words of encouragement. So the reality is, people usually only judge when you don't try or when you treat someone the wrong way. When we internalize this, it becomes just a little bit easier to leave our comfort zones, knowing that while people might be watching, it's probably not for the reasons we fear. This isn't to say that success is guaranteed. Last year, I spent like 3 hours filming a basketball shot for a class president campaign video, and I still lost. Evidently, though, it wasn't enough to keep me away from this podium, was it? Even preparing this address, I wasn't sure if everything would land as intended. So any laughter is much appreciated. But anyway, the point is that while success isn't guaranteed or a given, perhaps acceptance and admiration are well worth the effort. Now, the second is that leadership is ultimately a form of service. To our younger selves, this seemed a little ironic. How could someone with influence still be constrained by a higher goal? But we'd learned that the best leaders strive precisely to help others towards these higher goals. We discovered that student government was less about the social status than it was about organizing prom at the Royal Sonesta so that our peers could have a good time amid the chaos of their junior and senior years. That being soccer captain was less about ordering younger players around than it was about exemplifying dedication and resilience and determination and discipline day in and day out under the dazzling lights of Flay High Field. Or simply, that when a classmate trusted you to explain impulse and momentum during AP Physics, you weren't just telling them what to write down on their paper. You were shaping their thought processes and their conceptual foundations. In short, as my dad always tells me, and as Ms. Davenport kind of hinted at earlier, leadership isn't the permission to control, but rather the opportunity to guide. And finally, the third is that recognition builds community. When I say recognition, I don't mean the recognition of achievement, like shiny trophies or loud cheers. I mean the recognition of someone else's belonging. Westwood is a very tight-knit place, built on strong connections between people, places, and things. That's why some of my most cherished moments from school are ones that reinforce this connection, when people emanated a warmth that said, "I see you, and you matter, to me and to all of us." Every time my bus driver, Bob, waved to the other bus drivers as he passed them, or asked me how my day was going as I boarded, I felt surrounded by people who cared. whenever Miss De Leon, my 10th grade Spanish teacher, said an upbeat "Hola" to all her past and current students in the hallways, I was reminded that at Westwood High School, you don't just learn material, you find your people. These small moments aren't the most visible or the most grand, but they linger the longest in hearts and memories. That's why recognition is so sorry. That's why recognition is so meaningful. It's one thing to crush your goals alone, and another, much more special thing to hear cheers along the way. Now, with all this in mind, let's try to answer our original questions. What makes the class of 2025 special? How do we want to be remembered, and what impact do we hope to make on the world? Well, our high school journey has certainly been defined by acceptance and encouragement of belonging, by leadership through humility and service, and by the affirmation of each other's belonging. As we stand on the cusp of the next chapter, let's continue to motivate others, to brave uncertainty, to be constant sources of support, and to build circles that we're proud of. And maybe, just maybe, when the next person stumbles across Mr. Mao's photo archive while they're looking for a Google form from guidance, they'll see all of this. In the photos of us from 2021 to 2025, of course, because of what we've already done, but also all throughout the Westwood community and beyond because of the impact we'll have made. Congratulations again, class of 2025, and here's to everything that lies ahead. Go Wolverines!
Thank you, Isaac, for that tribute to the class of 2025. And now it is my pleasure to invite Superintendent of Schools Tim Pavovar to certify Westwood High School's graduating class.
Thank you, Ms. Davenport. As Superintendent of the Westwood Public Schools, it is my duty and honor to certify that the members of the class of 2025 have fulfilled the requirements for graduation as designated by the Westwood School Committee and by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Thank you.
Will the class please prepare for the presentation of the diploma cases? The first diploma is awarded to Dawson Rose, President, Class of 2025. Dawson will now read the names of his classmates.
Tony Sommer Mari. Braden John Murphy. Jacob Daniel Berliner. Daria Stephanie Abundo. Catherine Elaine Ashelman. Andrew James Alex. Ethan Howard Azevedo. Athos Panayotis Bacchus. Robert Aquino Barlett. Grace Marie Barnett. Landon Douglas Bear. Colin James Belcher. Owen Patrick Belcher. Gabrielle Isabella Bernada. Ava Elizabeth Blessing. Sean Lyons Blomquist. Maximilian Selwyn Burrell. Trinity Elias. Matthew McCabe. Lauren May Booza. Ivan Leong Kai. Hannah Paige Calawa. Nicole Alexandra Calawa. Alexander Philip Campbell. Caitlin Elizabeth Can. Gabriel Braga Cachuedo. Isaac Yathin Chan. Luke Douglas Chandler. Kenji Chen. Sandria Chen. Giuseppe Felice Chiampa. Itai Hillel Citron. Yona Asaf Citron. Damani Nathaniel Cole. David Michael Confoy. Dylan Michael Corrigan. Olivia Faith Cote. Hayden Elizabeth Ella Cox. Maximiliano Cruz Romero. Yafa Brahamargalit Deshevsky. Sophia Crawford DeAngelis. Charlotte Marie DeMeo. Emily Lorraine DeMeo. Lucy DeMel. Maggie Claire DeMartirosian. Mackay Derek Dickerson. Kevin Michael Doherty. Andrew Stephen Donegan. Catherine Celia Donnellan. Timothy John Donovan. Alexander Thomas Dorsky. Brady Daniel Dumais. Ethan Bruce Earl. Jack Christopher Endy. Jack Ryan Fallon. Maximilian Charles Farah. Alexandra Marie Farrell. Nathan Jacob Feinfeld. Caitlin Rose Ferreira. Nolan Joseph Fulmar. Grace Marion Fascaldo. Troy Peter Fredrickson. Nicholas James Gaspero. Francesca Margaret Gennari. Andrew Gong. Olivia Paige Gorton. Colin Daniel Greeley. Megan Aileen Greeley. Gunther Gulasarian. Lillian Gulasarian. Elsa Maria Haddad. Brendan Thomas Hardiman. Kyle John Harvey. Caden Hoyoung Ho. John Thomas Holland. Angelina Milad Holmesy. Corbin Daniel Elliott Horn. John Thaden Howe. Benjamin Garyen Huang. Charlotte Marie Hurley. Eli Ifra. Jefferson G. Joran G. Terrace Alexander Jones. Mackenzie Ann Kaiser. Kleisa Capetta. Jacob Thatcher Kaplan. Anne Catherine Kelleher. Delia Elizabeth Kelly. Lauren Nicole Kilroy. Kevin Matthew Klema. Audrey Catherine Lake. Abigail Poiling Law. Daniel Chong Leahy. Ethan Lee. Rachel Human Lee. Aiden Sebastian Leonardo. Bryce Bernini Levesque. Olivia Lee. Wesley Ruyan Lee. James Liang. Jason Lin. Chase Michael Longo. Ethan Maddox Lowe. Eve Pauline Georgina Lucas. Eric Ma. Sean Wyatt McGregor. Brooke Elise Macy. Kaylin Paige Maloof. Sasha Marino. Charles Murphy Martin. Dante Anthony Martucci. Simone Victoria Mond. Alexia Panayota Mavroidis. Melina Marie Maxwell. Joshua William McCabe. Luke Gregory McCabe. Sean Thomas McCabe. Allison Mary McCusker. Neve Ann McGilligan. Donovan Patrick McGough. Michael Howard McGrail. Francis Gerard McNamara. Vincent Masood Milanazzo. Timothy Bartholomew Malloy. Lily Grace Monroy. Harper Callie Morrison. Bridget Carol Malkeen. Colleen Francis Murphy. Carly Joy Murray. Rami Lutfi Nassif. Ava Ing. Hugh Darby Nicholson. Caroline Victoria Nazalilo. Casey Ann Ogden. Justin Robert O'Leary. Amelia Catherine O'Neill. Cole James Orsillo. Rayan Faris Padaria. Claire Peng. Essence Kylie Perry. Georgia Adrian Perry. Nolan Chandler Phillips. Abigail Emma Fu. Elliot Pichardo. Lucas Chavez Pinto. Eliana Nicole Parent. Eva Jolie Postisi. Saoirse Marie Prendergast. Matthew Warren Preedy. Alexander Paul Prasha. Emily Elizabeth Pajolis. Lilia Clementina Perrins. John Patrick Quinn. Maria Victoria Rawan. Isabella Jane Renzi. Madeline Elizabeth Risha. Sean Christopher Rice. Isabel Caroline Ritz. Imogen Mary Hannah Roberts. Seamus Robert Carl Rolfe. Benjamin Jacob Rosa. Matthew Aaron Rosa. David Angel Rothstein. Jack Charles Roycroft. William Daniel Russell. Michael Robert Russo. Connor Logan Ryan. Joseph Robert Salcedo. Ryan Samuel Salvage. Catherine Jane Sannel. Sarah Luna Sassine. Charlotte Barbara Scalara. Ella Kate Sherman. Kevin Tig Slocum. Madeline Jane Slocum. Luke Milton Stacy. Malik Allen Stokes. John Kylie Stuhler. Catherine Leon Sullivan. Riley James Sullivan. Nicholas Joseph Tassoni. Ava Teresa Themistocles. Alexander George Theophilou. Cecilia Patricia Thurmond. Charles Morton Toole. Jacob Michael Trider. Connery Zachary Sang. Riley Lamb Tassilo. Imani Oscar Urena. Zachary Edwin Ventola. Anna Andreevna Verdikova. Mario Robert Vinci. Deepak Vishwalingham. Sophia Carolyn Vitali. Aaron James Walkup. Courtney Barbara Walsh. Madison Lily Ward. Thomas Joseph Warren. Rocco Max Warrington. Brendan Kerr Watson. Christian Cole Watson. Adrian Chi Wong. Ella Zhu. Jasper Zhu. Jiawei Yuan. And Owen Sen Zhang.
Thank you, Dawson. And now it gives me great pleasure to present to you the Westwood High School class of 2025.